Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Steady, and in tonight's video, I wanted to bring you another theory video, like I did the other night. This one, however, won't be related to Godzilla or Kong. This one relates to the hit psychological thriller series, which just dropped its most recent and third season almost a month ago. You. Sorry, I'm a dork. Sorry. Anyway, the hit Netflix show You dropped its third and most recent season, and literally 2 or 3 days before the show dropped, which was last month on October 15th, Netflix announced and confirmed a fourth season a couple days before season 3 dropped, which was honestly super reassuring to me because it meant by the end of season 3, we definitely knew 100% that a fourth season was coming. So I was very happy about that. And, unfortunately, I didn't like You season 3 as much as I hoped I would. I was really hoping it would be the same level of quality of entertainment and just as good as the first and excellent season. I liked season 2 just fine. I only had one scene that really stood out for me that was quite a highlight of the whole season overall. I think my biggest problem with the two most recent seasons, by the way, if you're currently watching You season 3 and you're not caught up or finished yet, you do not want to keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing spoilers for the entirety, for probably all three seasons, but definitely the third and most recent season of You. You don't want to keep watching or listening because I will be referring to spoilers. That being said, you have been warned. Let's get back to it. My biggest problem with the two most recent seasons of You, seasons 2 and 3, is that I really could not stand the Quinn family. Love was kind of an interesting character, but I was ready to see her go by the end of season 3, and I'm glad that they killed her off because she was fucking nuts and just, so incredibly codependent, dependent on her brother, who was of course dead, and of course they had to bring him back in a flashback or hallucination form for her in season 3, because thankfully that son of a bitch died at the end of season 2. I absolutely hated 40 Quinn, couldn't stand him. I was indifferent about the parents, although the mother, Mrs. Quinn, became more unbearable during season 3 because she was treating her grandson as 40 reincarnated, which I absolutely detested and hated with every fiber of my being. So that was a big problem for me, is that I couldn't stand the Quinn family, most of them, especially 40, which is why I was so glad by the end of season 2, he was dead. And now, thankfully, with the end of season 3, Love is dead too. And Mother Quinn is in rehab and given up full custody of her grandson, who is now in a much more loving and stable home with the gay couple and their family. So good on Joe for not subjecting his son to the terrible system he was raised in, which is probably one of the reasons why he turned out the way he did. The other thing that I've had problems with the show with lately is that, this is going to sound weird, but Joe has not killed enough people. He only killed like 2 people in season 2 and then 3 in season 3, one of them being Love. One of them in season 3, Ryan, was a real prick and asshole of a man, and watching Joe kill him mercilessly was pretty satisfying to watch. I just wanted to see more scenes like that throughout the entirety of season 3, not just the end of season 3. And because what made season 1 so good was that it was a twist of boy meets girl, and boy kills people who are in the way of his psychotic idea of a perfect relationship with the girl, and that includes eliminating problematic people from her life, no matter if they deserved it or not. I mean, most of them didn't. Some of them did, but most of them didn't. And, the problem is that we didn't get to see Joe kill nearly enough people in season 2. And my favorite part of season 2 is actually watching him, process and carve up that prick who cut his finger off, which he had sewn back on. And then he uses the kitchen to dismember the guy. And it's a super graphic, gory, memorable scene. And I was hoping for more shit like that throughout season 2. And when we got a moment like that in the beginning of the season, and the rest of it was dealing with the bullshit and the drama of the Quinn family. and then that bullshit and drama unfortunately carried over into season 3, but then the bullshit became the bullshit between, Quinn and Joe trying to, live their lives peacefully in suburbia, even though that itself was a pretty toxic environment from the people and its surroundings. So I'm hoping now with the end of season 3, and Quinn and the Quinns are gone. Love is dead. 40 is dead. Mother Quinn and Father Quinn will not be seen again, most likely. Joe faked his death, free as a bird, pinned all the murders and deaths in season 3 on Love. Now he's out over there in Paris trying to find the cute librarian girl that he was crushing on throughout most of season 3, which is why Love went even crazier than she already was crazy. So I'm hoping season 4 is an improvement, because I would love to see a character we haven't seen since the end of season 1, which was the private investigator who is investigating one of my least favorite characters' deaths from season 1, Peach Salinger. Her family hired a PI because they couldn't believe that a Salinger would commit suicide or take her own life, as Joe staged it to make it look that way. And the PI seemed to be one of the few people at the end of season 1 who didn't buy Beck's story as well. Guinevere Beck's tragic story where, Joe pinned the murders and her death on her psychiatrist, played by John Stamos, who had a fun little cameo in season 2. But again, I was really hoping for more of him throughout the season, not just a cameo. Completely sat out season 3. So will we see him again? I don't know, but it'd be nice to see that PI again, because I think the PI is someone who wouldn't buy or believe the story that was in the papers about Joe dying in that house fire as well, because he's probably Joe's the kind of guy who would fake his own death to do something like this. So if this private investigator turns up in season 4 and Joe ends up killing him in a very violent, brutal way, I would be just fine with that. And I'd also be just fine with the fact if season 4 just went back to the basics of season 1, which is Joe meets a girl, falls deeply in love with her, fixates, obsesses with her, and then eliminates problematic people from her life. And by the end of the season, it all blows up in his face. Just do that all over again. I really don't mind. I can't speak for the whole fan base, but I personally would love to see season 4 be more like season 1. But maybe I'm alone. What do you guys think? Would you guys like to see the private investigator, my theory about him, pan out in season 4? Should it go back to the basics of season 1, or should the show continue to change as it goes along? So let me know down below what you think. Do you agree with me, or do you want to see the show keep changing each season? Don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of the show. I really enjoy it. I just wish that each season outdid itself, kind of like other shows do, or where it was just as good as the previous, if not my favorite season. In this case, my favorite season being season 1. So let me know what you guys think. If you got any theories of your own, sound off down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your night. Seasons 1 through 3 are now streaming on Netflix. Obviously no word yet as to when season 4 will drop. Most likely some point next year, or hell, maybe 2 years from now, depending on production and whatnot. So time will tell. We'll see. Have an awesome rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you.